Okay, the other day I said I was going to put this new kit on this baler that I was going to go get, and today's video is going to be about that, and maybe the next video. So we'll see how much time this takes up, but this is going to be a little bit of a lengthy project. It does have a few things to it. Now the goal of this project is to replace this canvas that is right here, and it runs up into there, which is this. Now this canvas is where your feet of your net runs down in these balers. From up top, the net goes down in behind this canvas, and your belts are, this canvas pushes pressure up against your belts and it feeds it into the chamber, and that's how your bale ties. So the problem is with these canvases is after a good bit of use, mine has 10,000 rolls. Mine started giving me a little issues. I've continued to bale with it for another 2,000, and this kit has come available, so now I'm gonna get this kit. Now you can replace just the canvas, and it's $800 to replace just the canvas, and I didn't really want to do that because it's a canvas and it was just gonna do it again after a while, but probably not in the time I had it. But I just like to do stuff right, and this kit has been made available by Claas for all of their balers, their variant balers, to cure this issue. So what I've done, I've went and got this kit. Now the kit is, I think it was around $900 for the kit, and you can do away with this whole canvas system, and it will be the same as the new model balers, the 460s, with the steel crimp design that pushes up again here. What they've done is they've done away with this canvas and replaced it with a steel piece, and I'll show it to you right now, that slides up in there in place of the canvas, and it clamps down onto the belts, and then when you're tying, when it starts to feed the net, and then it releases afterwards. Now this is it. This is the steel piece that's going to replace the canvas. Now this is the manual that comes with it. Now don't get scared because the manual is so thick. It's not nothing to be afraid of. The reason why this manual is so thick and long is this kit is for six different balers, series balers, and then some of these series have 3 different models for each series. So it's got multiple balers in this manual. Now you have to find your baler in here. It has an index to find it, and then I think the actual procedure is just like a few pages long. It's not that bad, but that is why the manual's so long. And then they put in all the warning crap and all that junk that they stick in every manual. So that is the manual that comes with it. It also has 2 steel plates which are in there. I don't know if y'all can see them, and there's a whole bag of nice goodies in there. So this is a project that's a little bit extensive, and it's going to take a little bit of time. So if you're going to get one of these kits and do it yourself, I'd recommend doing it on a day when it's raining or something and you can't be in the field baling hay, and you just want to, and you ain't got nothing else to do, and you can kind of take your time and fool with this. I like to do stuff myself, but if you don't feel confident putting this on, obviously I'm sure your dealer would be more than happy to put this kit on for you. So Canes, when I was up there, they were installing them on some balers that they had there when I was there, and he showed me how it's all supposed to look and everything and the way it works. Now what the first thing you're going to want to do is clean your baler, because you're going to be underneath this thing in that canvas area, and everybody, if you have one of these, you know that all that crap's in that up above you is going to fall down on your head. It's pretty much any baler's that way. So you want to clean the baler off and get it all blowed out and cleaned up somewhat. I was actually in a hurry, so I didn't get to do as good a job as I'd like to, because it was starting to rain on me. So I got it cleaned out, and I went ahead and I've took off the rack that goes across the front, which is laying over there, that pushes down on your hay. You just flip these coils over that go on here. You flip those over and that whole rack just sits right out. So you want to get that out, and you want to pull your wheels, which is held on by 2 safety pins. If you have one of these balers, you've probably already took these wheels on and off and everything, and they store back there on the back. But you pull that off and you get your pickup mouth as low as you can to give you the most room. Now the next step is we're going to get up and under there and pull a bracket off and the canvas. Now another step I'm going to go ahead and take that it doesn't say to do in the manual, but I know that I'm going to have to take this off and weld some pieces onto it in a little bit, and to grind it and everything. It's just going to be easier to take it off. I don't think it said take it off, but I'm not sure. But I'm going to pull it off. And what you do is it's this bracket right here that pushes up on this canvas a little bit. I'm going to pull it off. There's 4 bolts on each side, and I'm going to go ahead and jerk it out. And then when I get it off, we'll be right back. Okay, the manual did say to pull that bar off. I double checked again, which made sense to me. Now, if you can see, to get this canvas off, there's a line of bolts right up here underneath here on this lip, this 90-degree angle iron that this canvas is attached to. You pull these bolts out right here, try to get up in here, right there, and take the canvas loose from that end first, and then you come up here and you pull these 4 pins out. There's 1 of these on each side of the canvas. There's 1 of these on the other side. So you pull those 2 pins out and you pull the canvas off. So that's what I'm going to do now. Alright, I've gotten the canvas off. This is the old canvas. As y'all can see, it's cloth material, flexes and everything, and this is what was up in there against the belts that the net went down behind. Now that we've got that done, the next step is to actually start putting stuff on. As y'all can see, I do have it off, and you can see the belts now. Now we've got to mount this bracket up in there, and I'm going to swap over to the GoPro so y'all can see me do that. I was wrong. I had to stop and figure this out for a little bit and think about it. And then I flipped ahead in the book and I realized what it was trying to tell me to do. The plate that it says to make sure is even up underneath here, flush with these the frame that runs across there, it calls it a scraper or whatever, is this silver piece that's already on the baler. You make sure that it's not bent or anything, and if it is, you straighten it out. Mine's not bent. And then this plate, this big wide plate, bolts. Try to figure it. This comes later though, but I'm gonna go ahead and explain it to you. Bolts up into here like this, right there, onto that. Later on in the book, and then when that plate comes up, it has this flange, and then when the net shoots out, it hits this little upward piece here and goes on up in the baler. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm overthinking it. It's a little more simple than I thought it was. So you leave the silver piece that's up in there, make sure it's not bent, and then move on to the next step. And that's what we're going to do now. And it involves the brackets where they're over here, and I'll show you that in just a minute. Alright, so the next step, let me plug in a light. Yeah, get this stuff plugged in so that way we can see what we're doing over there. There we go. Alright, the next step is you take this plate that they give you, little thin plate, and you lay it up here on top of these washers, and it says to get this edge even right here with this. And if you have to loosen up the nuts and move the washers around so that way you can get it to where it needs to be. I ain't got to do that, mine's just perfectly aligned. So now you take a Sharpie or something, or whatever you got, and you mark these holes that's in here out, and we're going to drill those out. Before I do that, I'm going to take a punch and mark them, and then I'm going to drill them. So there's another plate that's really thick and big bolts that goes through this. And I've got to drill the holes out. They're 11-30 seconds. I won't bore you all with that. So, give me a minute. Okay, the next part. Include every step. This is a very important step. You gotta put the new sticker on. So, I stuck mine here. It said to stick it over here somewhere. I think the newer design model balers are a little bit different than mine. So, that's clearly visible for me to stick it right there. So, I just put it there. Alright, so now the next part is you take this bracket and you put this bolt through, which is the longer bolt for mine. There's different versions for different balers, and it tells you in the manual which bracket used for which baler you need. But mine uses this bracket and this bolt. And the next thing you do is you take these other bolts that they give you and you mount it on here just like this. To stop for attack and stop for the shield when it pushes up. So this is how you set the tension on that shield that pushes against the belts. Alright, so now that I got those on, that's what it looks like. Brackets on there. Let me just grab y'all off of here. Show y'all exactly what it looks like up close. So, alright, here's the bracket. Try to get it in there. There's the end of the bolt. Now here's the rod that bolt is going to stop. Right there is going to stop this rod, which I can't do it right now still. But it stops that plate. That's your depth set for your plate on these. Now we're going to move on to the next part.